segment of our previous podcast, just to get a recap of where we left
Yeah,
off.
we started, but we can do that.
That's cool. I think I remember. Wait, when did we record it? Like right before Christmas?
I don't know. I'm gonna pull it up right now, but also we are now recording.
Oh, what's up?
That's cool, but bruh, this is crazy. If I stream it to you on Discord, would you be able to watch it?
Stream
I
it via
assume.
Discord? I thought this was on
Yeah,
YouTube.
like I'm gonna stream it to you, and then you can watch the stream on Discord.
Hmm.
Okay, hold up. Boop, boop, boop.
Wait, watch it? Like, I would watch it right now?
Yeah, no, I stream it, and then like you're watching it at the same time as I am.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't watch it right now.
Oh, but you wanted to hear what we were saying last time. That's.
Oh, stream our old one.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant our current one right now. Oh, we could.
Okay. Let me just. Or do you in?
Hmm?
Yeah. It's okay.
What?
Are you in the stream or no?
Oh. Let me check. Is it in the chat?
So it's like part of the call. If you tap the call.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Let me know if you can hear it.
I've never done it because I'm on my PS4.
Oh shit. Oh, did you just say that right now? The PS4, or was that?
Or PS5?
Oh, that's why. Oh, what the heck?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're playing the game at this point.
The
Okay, we're
game?
playing the game
Oh.
when we try to figure out what word we're saying.
Nah, it's okay. I think it would take up a lot of time trying to figure out.
Are you sure?
Yes, sure. I should have done it prior.
Okay. Okay, well, now we're here. All right. It is 9:40 p.m. 51525.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what to say, dude. Since December, anyway.
It's
I can't
been
even remember anymore.
5.5 months. Dang,
Yeah.
I know. I have a pretty good gauge of my
I think
life.
low key, I think we have to do the songs first, so I can
Songs first? We can do that.
So nothing's coming to my mind right now. At least from January.
Huh. Okay. We could do songs.
Shoot.
What do we do? Is it like 3 main ones and 1 honorable mention?
Wait, I gotta look at how many numbers we got right now.
Numbers?
Oh, this is crazy. Where are we? What's our thing called? DaVinCast. I just have to look for that image. Damn, the DaVinCast sound rotations. This is crazy. So it's at 60 right now.
Oh shoot.
Let's just make it 75. I think this was 5 each last time. Cause I was like
5 each?
yeah, it was 5. I think it was like 4 and then 1 honorable, or it was 3 and then 2 honorable.
Hmm.
Do you want to do top 4 and 1 honorable?
Sure. Yeah, I mean it's been 5 months. I think we could do that, yeah.
Do you want to add them first and then I'll add after, or just like it doesn't matter?
Yeah, it doesn't matter because you can just rearrange it.
No,
Can't
I'll put like
freaking
the
find
date.
Oh, do you have? I feel like I could get mine down pretty fast.
Okay,
Or are
yeah,
you pretty fast too?
I'll take a little bit.
Okay. If I could find the playlist, oh my goodness.
This is wild actually, because dang, because my playlist right now is actually like literally just 25, or on my YouTube. On the songs I've been listening on my iPod has been kind of the same. No way.
Wow, good old days was on my. That's so funny.
Oh shoot, this is crazy, Alvin. Oh my gosh. Why am I getting so nostalgic when it's only been 5 months? That's wild. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I got rotation songs, but I got some pretty like hard hitting significant ones. Um Top four in one?
Yeah. Oh, okay, okay.
Or oh man.
Okay, I'm
What
adding
is
this one for sure.
oh dang, what did I have last time? Oh shit, I got some I was listening to the same stuff. This is winter, that was summer or spring. Dang. Oh wow. Na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-doo. Where do I tape my mic? Like this? Let me test. Oh, my cheek. Oh, this is hilarious, dude. So while Alvin has gotten up to do something again.
Now I'm
Oh,
here.
he's back. Okay, I have taped the mic to my face. So it's either like I hold it the whole time and feel uncomfortable with my hand, or with the tape on my face, but whenever I talk, the tape makes me it's just like ticklish to my cheek. This sucks. Can't win. I'll take it off, man. Ah, damn.
All right, I
Yeah,
got
you're
my
right.
5.
Um, I'm trying to. I have. I have one listening to it this year, but I'm gonna hold on. One. Oh, did you put yours already?
Yeah.
Okay. One, two, three.
This is a pretty good
Shoot.
idea.
What?
Songs first, cause it like jogs me down memory lane.
Yeah. Damn, honorable. Or top four and honorable. Damn, I got two
Oh
honorable.
shoot! I have to change
What?
it. Hold on. There's a
Why?
song I forgot. Oh my
Just.
goodness! I can't believe I forgot this. Ooh, which one am I kicking out though? Is the question.
This is
Hmm.
tough. This is actually kind of tough. I think I have like five, six, seven on mine right now. Ah, shoot.
Okay, I'm locked
You
in.
have yours. Locking in. Oh, this is tough. Um, you're locked in.
Yes, sir.
Shoot, there's a song. Oh wow, I listened to that before too. Damn. Okay, I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3. What's my fourth one? Oh yeah, the but I've listened to that already. Oops. Gosh dang it. This sucks. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. What do I got right now? Oh, duh. Oh, easy, easy, easy. Easy, easy, easy. My first one, 1, 2. What? Um, okay, 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 okay. Okay, I'm locking in mine real quick.
There's like 20 minutes of nothing.
Bro, oh
That's
my
why I
god.
think we should have done it before.
It's fine. I just let it run. I'm gonna look back and be like, damn, took that long. Just bruh. Okay. Absolutely. I guess you can start. Wait, nah, never mind. I'm not gonna be able to Boku. I got two more. Hold up. I'm almost there. Almost there. Almost there. Boom. And then boom. And my honorable is so 4 and 1, right? Is
Yeah.
that what you did too? Okay. Damn. Damn. Oh my gosh, I'm so sad. Oh, dude, I'm actually so sad. I remember why this song is making my honorable mention. All right. Go. Go.
All right. So my first song by Shania Twain, and it's because that song low-key jump-started the relationship that I'm in now.
Mm.
Update since last podcast. I have a girlfriend now. Woo! So this song kind of jump started it because my brother got married or had a wedding. I think at the time of the last podcast, he had his
Oh
civil
yeah.
wedding. But in January, he had his like actual wedding in the Philippines. But there's also a U.S. wedding happening in like 2 months. Wait, May, June, July, May, June. Yeah, 2 months. Before the Philippines wedding, um, there's this girl that I was super close friends with, and she hit me up and was like, "Dude, like, cause she's the maid of honor for the Philippines wedding. So she's like, dude, we should like, I wanted to sing a song, but it'd be weird if it was just me. So can you sing a song with me?" And I was like, oh sure. So we were supposed to sing the song from Wicked called For Good, but then it doesn't really fit like the wedding vibe. Um, so then we changed the song to You're Still the One, and so we practiced the song right before we left for the Philippines, and in the Philippines we sang the duet. And there's so much more lore to this like one song, but at one point in the trip, it was like 4 a.m. and we're on the beach practicing the night before the wedding, singing the song to each other. So it's like super like unnecessarily romantic for a couple of friends. But fast forward 4 or 5 months now, she's my girlfriend, and that's pretty cool. Um,
Oh.
and then this next song, I realized like all the songs on my list is related to her in some way. Pinewood Sky. So this song is by Gabriel, who I recently discovered, and dude, he's so sick. And he actually follows Benzer, and Benzer follows him.
Uh-huh.
I don't think they're homies, but it's crazy that like that small world connection thing. Like,
Musician mutual.
yeah. So I think his music's super dope. Um, he's even done a collab or a song with someone else called Melissa Pauliner, I think. She's also related to like Gabe Doc and like Jeremy Passion and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Skip over to my honorable mention, Paper Rings by Taylor Swift. So he also showed me that song. And those two songs I used to make a montage of like our first date that we had. Like we went to Santa Monica Pier and then I just recorded footage and I made a montage and like of other stuff, but
Okay.
using those two songs. And then Palagi is a song that was used at the wedding, but I've just been listening to it. Reminds me, it's like a good song, and it also reminds me of uh the wedding and like that like those moments. And I mean, it's just a good song. I first heard it. My brother and I actually watched this movie back in like November ish, and that song was in it. So then we
Mm.
learned that song, and then he decided to use it for the either like entrance or like first dance or something important to their wedding. Um, So yeah, that's in my top four. And the last song on my top four is "Comforter," "Lover of My Soul." It's a song that I got from her also. It doesn't really have any romantic connotation. It's just a good song that's about like Christ being the comforter, and in parentheses the title is "Lover of My Soul." So I think
Mm.
that's pretty cool. Pretty cool song. Pretty cool message. And those are
Yeah.
my top four for the winter spring season.
Winter, spring, bro. I was gonna say something. I forgot. That's okay. Okay. So unlike Alvin, I'm still not in a relationship. Update, still single. But this song, the first one I got is While We're Young by Janae Aiko. And I randomly remembered it, and I think it's because I was really strong feeling about this girl um within the last semester that I was trying to understand what was happening. Still don't really understand, but obviously I think it's just like she's a busy person. But I was feeling whatever signs I thought I was feeling, but at the same time I never said anything. She never said anything. And we're both kind of just like wavering, I guess. But this song I remember randomly remembering it and then also being like, dang. I remember when I first heard this, I was in high school and it was about a different girl. Or it was just like, yeah, like being young and like having that like infatuational kind of love when you're young as a teen in high school. Um, yeah, it just made me remember what it was like being young. And the song is like about while we're young, like let's just she says let's do something crazy, but also like I think while you're young is the time to just like do stuff because, when you get older, you don't really have the opportunity and whatever. So I feel like that's why I chose this song. The next song, I was cooking one night or I was in the kitchen doing something. And I was looking for stuff to listen to. And then like I usually had like my alt rock stuff in the background. But then this song was on the recommendations on the side. And I was like, damn, I heard this song forever. And also I don't know if I know this song, but it looks like them old school 2000 albums. So then I was like, I played it and I'm like, dig, drops of Jupiter. And then after a while, a couple replays when he says, before like the first beat drop, because he goes like, um, now that she's back from the atmosphere, drops of Jupiter in her hair, na, na. It's like drops of Jupiter in her hair because she's came back from the atmosphere. And then he says something like, "Did you miss me while you were looking for yourself out there?" Because she needed space, bruh. And Jupiter's in space, bruh. Oh my
The
gosh.
wordplay.
Dude, I was like, this song is great. And no, and then it just like made me remember how um the strings and like production of piano, I think like that's what I thrive off of too, and even when I produce stuff. And it's like no wonder, because like 2000s is like string piano and then like drum and that's it. And nowadays you don't really hear that. But yeah, that song I remember was like a throwback to when I was young and made me feel nice. And so I've been listening to that too. Scoop on Heaven by Mac Miller. Oh, that was Drops of Jupiter by Train, by the way. So Scoop on Heaven by Mac Miller. When I first heard it, I was like, oh, this is nice. And I kept listening to it, and then at some point I was like, oh, this is nice, but it's giving me kind of some anxiety. But because the inevitable and like future and all that. And I was just like, oh man, this is a lot to take in. But when you're in a good headspace, it's a nice song to listen to. Um, and yeah, it can make you feel very like grateful for the present moment and like where you are at. And I think when I first heard it, that's where I was just very thankful for everything that was happening and like very present. My top four is So Cynical by La Seraphim. And I chose this because I got into Overwatch like March, April. And so there was doing a second collab because I know they did a first one before. And they're doing another collab. And I was like, oh, and I remember because I play on my Switch and I just had it loaded up, and I just randomly heard like boom 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 bottom, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" And then I'm looking around. I'm like, was that the game?" And then all I hear is like, "Da, da, 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 da." So it was like their song playing as like the title theme, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. What the heck?" So then eventually I was like, okay, like that's cool. But every time I started up the game, like the more I was playing and stuff, I just let it play out the whole song before I started playing. I'm like, this is sick. And I got so sad when they moved on to whatever next season and stuff like that. So that's my top four. And my last what is it called? My last what do you call it? Honorary mention is High Hopes by Panic at the Disco. And the reason
Ooh.
Dude, this one is so specific and it makes me so sad. So I got a root canal um April, sometime in April, March. And what do you call it? I got a root canal and I remember the day shoot, it wasn't okay, it wasn't the day of the root canal. It was the day I got like checked and diagnosed that I needed a root canal. And like I didn't want to and I thought I like so depressed and I was just so like, bro, this is the one thing I didn't want. This is the one thing I didn't think I would have to live through and like do. And so I was like, I was with my dad, and like we're driving home. It was like the last turn on our street, and this song starts playing. It's like dun 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 dun, dun, and I was like, what the frick, dude? And then you know how the song goes in verse one is like, Mama said. And I was just like, bro, this is such a time to listen to this, and like, why is it playing right now before I get home? And then he gets to the chorus, and it's like, gotta have high sweating. And I was like, bro, this is so sad, cause like, this is such a prominent high school song and high school memory for me, and like to hear it now and to know everything I've gone through from high school to now, in the 6 years of growth and loss of people and meeting new people, and to now like I need to get a root canal. The root canal was just so like messed me up, and I was just so sad. And I didn't cry in the car, but I got home and then I locked myself in my room and like I straight up cried for a bit. So like, bro, I can't believe I need a root canal. And I don't know what's so emotional about the root canal, but it's definitely so tied to just like it's my tooth, man. And it's like I've had that tooth for so long and now it's not gonna be the same anymore. Or like that's what I just kept thinking about, and it's like things won't be the same. This root canal is gonna change me, and I guess it's also like a s- small symbol for like, yeah, I'm gonna finish college right now, and then like after this, it's like nothing's gonna be the same anymore. Everything's gonna be different. But also like the third layer of it was like when I was in high school dreaming of what I wanted to be now, and to be that age now and to know like how far I've come or like things I have accomplished and compare like did I really do what I wanted to? Is this stuff that I wanted? And then, so it was just like all this like back of the stuff in the brain realization after all that time, and then like um yeah. So that's my honorable mention. Damn. I forgot I got a root canal, dude. Man, but yeah. So that is my five or four and one honor.
Noise.
But yeah. Okay. I'm still lost at what else we could talk about. So I'm looking at structure already. Unless you got something. Um, do you have anything?
I mean, there's so much I could talk about.
Should I ex ex express my private life into the public of probably no one?
I could talk about post grad life since that's my main theme. I mean, you have like all of your whole last
Oh, that's
semester.
true. Um, oh yeah, yeah. But I mean for you, yeah, you just been like
Ooh.
interning and stuff, huh?
Now?
Or yeah, no, just like working, right? And then
Yeah,
I
but
remember, huh?
not a regular like full time 9 to 5 job.
Oh yeah, yeah. Um, but I remember in that first 2 months, I think, or something, because you were like going everywhere, traveling, and then I was just like, what the heck? Because I think I started school, and you're like, yeah, I'm still not in home, and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I'm in
what?
Japan right now.
I was like, oh, okay.
Oh shoot, yeah, I
But
had a whole trip. Oh my goodness, I
yeah,
totally forgot about that.
I forgot about that too. I just remember
Dude.
because oh, we met at school, so you could give me the gifts that you had. Dang,
Oh
I
yeah,
was just
at the.
mhm. Okay, actually, so today was like the last time I was seeing people at school, and it still doesn't feel like it, but like I had to be like, this is the last time, you know? And I was like, bro, um, so we like celebrated our final instead for this one class, and then I'm inside, I'm finishing a paper before 5 o'clock, and like the class left, but some people from the last year were just there chilling, and then we all hung out and talked. And then there was a point they were talking about graduation, like, "Yo, yeah, I emailed our chair," and I was like, "Oh shoot!" And then like I realized like the five of us sitting at the table are all gonna graduate, and it was just weird because usually it's like, "Oh, are you graduating?" Oh, yeah. But like, and then like I spun my finger in a circle. I was like, "Bro, we're all," well, like, whoa. So it's just a weird thing because like in high school, you like you know who's graduating, but then I was like, this is it. Like this moment right now is like the last. Um, and then like I went to campus still because I was like trying to drop off something for one professor. So then that's why I texted you. I had my last walk. It wasn't supposed like I was supposed to be like a while ago, but it was just today because I had to do that. And then, bro, it was crazy. And but yeah, okay. That was my how do we get there? Forgot.
Graduate last semester.
Yeah, but you said we are at traveling, and then you
Oh
said
yeah, I
something.
went on a trip.
Yeah, you want? Oh, because I said oh, and then you gave me gifts at the pizza place. So
Yes.
yeah, did you want to talk about your trip more
Oh
or?
man. Okay. So a breakdown of my trip was, so last podcast was the 23rd, and then
Oh,
had
and you were
Christmas.
leaving. Yeah, you were leaving like in the week of.
Yeah. So then it was the
Oh
podcast
man.
23rd, Christmas, and then I left like the 26th. So I leave California, go to South Korea, had a layover there, where we did like a free tour thing. It was cool. It was hella cold. It was chill. Spent like half, if not most of it, in the airport, because it was like a 17-hour layover or something. So then we dip, we go to the Philippines, and there, uh, so I went to the Philippines back in 2023, but that was like a whole fun and stuff. So that was cool. Got to see my family again. It's cool like seeing family because like I got to know them in 2023, and then we would message like super sparsely, or like very minimal,
Hmm.
when I got back home, because we both just went to our regular lives, but we'd greet like happy birthdays, or like if something came up where you'd want to like shoot them a message, like we would talk. um so yeah, it's cool coming back to the Philippines and basically picking up where we left off about like, oh, like how's like life, like, oh, what's up, um and just like seeing each other again. And it's very special seeing each other because we know like, they're probably not gonna come over here, but I'm gonna go. I'm only ever gonna go there every maybe once a year, if not like once every few years. So, um, spending time is a lot more like intentional because I know it's so limited. So that's pretty cool. And then had my so we got there on like the 28th or something, and then had like a week to chill, and then it's cool because it was kind of like a mini family reunion because I have my family from the Philippines, but I also have family from Australia. So they also flew
Oh, what
in,
the heck?
yeah, to the Philippines for the wedding.
Um.
So got to see them, um, met them when I was like 12 or like a senior in high school. But now as an adult, it's like, oh, seeing them for the first time as like an adult. Um, so so it's cool because we're all just there together. Like that's my dad's side of the family, and so my dad has two younger sisters and a younger brother. So all four of them were like in the same place. And this is like super rare, because like my dad lives in the U.S. and my uncle lives in Australia, and then my two aunts are
Mhm.
in the Philippines. So that was cool. And then we had the actual wedding. In the actual wedding, there was like a handful of my friends from the U.S. So it was like a, crossover episode of like my family, Australia family, and like my friends from home. And yeah, that was fun. That was in Subic. Spent a little bit of time there, and then went back to Manila, and then we went to Boracay, which some of my friends, the my soon-to-be girlfriend or future girlfriend, would also be there. And so yeah, we just spent a lot of time in the Philippines. One, like her family just so happened to also be going to the Philippines, um, so that they attended the wedding, and they also just so happened to go to Boracay the same week that we were going, so we were able to like spend time together there. So Boracay was fun. Did a lot of water stuff, beached every day, drank a good amount. Um,
What the?
yeah, it was fun. It was cool vibes. Spent a lot of time with my cousins. And is also where that kind of breach happened from like the friends to lovers trope. That's where the breach happened of like we actually had a conversation about like, oh, what's going on between us in Boracay. Um, dude, there's a whole lore about that, but I'm not gonna like go into. I could That's it. That could be its own podcast, but I'm gonna just leave
That's
it
so
at that.
funny.
So Boracay happens, and then she goes back home, but I still have like a bunch of like a second leg of my trip left. So we have that conversation, and it's like pretty life changing. But then now it's like, oh, I can't even see you yet because I have to wait till I get back home, which is like in two more weeks at least. So
Mhm.
we take a break actually. We do no contact for those 2 weeks to kind of like get our heads straight to kind of see like how we feel and like reflect and stuff. Um, but yeah, so the rest of that trip, I went back to the Philippines and I went on a cruise. So that cruise starts in Singapore. So we're in the Philippines. We flew to Singapore, went on the cruise. The cruise had to stop at Thailand and Malaysia, and then went back to Singapore. And then from Singapore, we went back to the Philippines. And then from the Philippines, I had like a week more to chill to kind of like settle in, like get uh oh wait, yeah, get my like pasalubongs or like souvenirs.
Mhm.
And the cruise itself was super dope. Like there was a lot more things to do than I thought. Like there was a buffet every day, which was like the food was mid, but like it was like a free buffet, so it was like it's cool, but it wasn't like amazing. But then there was hella stuff to do. Like I took a hip hop class, I took a salsa
Wait, on the
class.
cruise?
Yeah, dude.
What the heck?
The indoor skydiving thing. There's hella stuff to do.
Indoor
My favorite,
skydiving?
yeah, my favorite part was the live music though. There was this one band. I totally forgot their name, but dude, it was like a jazz like pop fusion.
Mhm.
It was so sick. They would do
Mm,
remixes. Oh my gosh, that was the best.
that's sick.
Got hella
Um,
souvenirs. And then from when I got back from the Philippines, I went to Japan for like 5 days. I spent 2 days in yeah, and then 3 days in
mm,
oh, it's not Kyoto. Ah, shoot, I totally forgot.
Shibuya? No,
Mm-mm.
that's Shibuya. Oh. There's
Oh
another
my goodness,
K1.
it's like near Nara ish. Oh my goodness, I'm blanking.
It's is it a K1 again?
I think
Is it
let me just
snowy?
Google
Oh,
it. Japan countries. Oh wait,
no, the
Japan. What is it?
prefectures. Yeah. Then you
Oh,
got a lubed
oh.
up keyboard, bro. What the heck?
Oh, it's new. I was gonna talk to you about it like on a different
Yo.
day.
No, I
It's a,
can hear it. That's
it's it's not. I mean, it's like a pre-built like.
yeah.
Oh wait.
But it's still mine's so clacky. I don't like um
Oh my goodness. Why can't wait? Is it a prefecture? No, because Tokyo isn't a prefecture.
let's see. Japan? Dude,
Popular
that sounds
Japan.
so nice, bro.
Yeah, I don't know how like into keyboards you are, but this is the keyboard test.
Bro, I'm not too into it, but it's still like pretty sad. I wish I had a keyboard. Like a oh man.
Dude, this
Is
keyboard is like 170 bucks.
no, I know,
I
yeah. And then
I
that's why
invested in it.
yeah, I was like, well, I don't want to invest in this if I'm not a gamer, right? At the
Mhm.
time. Is it Kyushu?
Oh, it was Osaka.
Hokkaido? Oh, Osaka.
Osaka. Yeah.
I was thinking of Hokkaido. There's the K in there. But
But
yeah,
yeah.
you
But
went
anyways,
5 days
yeah,
there.
that's
Yeah.
like the last leg, and then I had a few more days in the Philippines after that. Said my goodbyes, and then I'm back
Mm.
home where uh, a potential girlfriend was waiting for me.
Potential. Bro.
Because at the time, like I didn't know what life was
Uh,
gonna look like when I got back. Because so I graduated and it was Christmas, and I dipped for this trip, and then I come back. Uh, I mean, like also I came back like hella sick. Like I caught something. So on my layover
oh.
back to Korea from the Philippines, I was hella sick. So I didn't even explore
Hmm.
Korea that second time. I was just like knocked out at the airport, and I came back and I was still kind of sick. But yeah, I came back
Hmm.
to like a week to kind of recuperate. So in that week, started my full time job, which wasn't too crazy because it was like the internship that I already had, but now it's just like a full time position and a new title. And I
Hmm.
also was able to talk to that girl. I don't know.
I
It's like the
think
whole like school thing. Like we're not seeing our school.
I mean like I think we said it before too though, but it was just kind of like it's so funny every time it changes. Um no, but the first one, like I was saying ice cream truck or like
Yeah, yeah.
That we had good reason to, to But this is like,
Yeah,
it's up to you. I don't know. It's a present. It's like, it's not like,
true.
I don't know. But anyway, sorry, continue.
That's pretty much
That's so funny.
that's what was waiting for me at the end of my trip. So it's just been like kind of nonstop, new everything. Like what I was
Uh,
used to was just school, work, dance. Actually, yeah, schoolwork, dance. Dude, I have not danced
dance.
that much.
And
Got into snowboarding though, and then I injured myself. But
oh
that's
yeah,
like
yeah. Oh
another
yeah,
story. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this segment on the trip solely. So that was my trip.
yeah. Nice. I was doing something earlier, but I forgot. Um, I want to rewind, but also there'd be no point. Maybe it'll come back. It was something about before you talked about Japan. You're like had this moment, and then like headspace, and then like something else. Um,
When I talked to
do you
you
remember?
like at a different conversation,
No, no, like right now, like when you're
headspace.
talking about it, because you're no contact, and then like you're both trying
Oh,
to.
yes, yeah. Cause it's like a big life change to even think about like what our friendship, because our friendship was changing, or we didn't know if it was going to change or like what. So it was kind of
Mhm.
just like time for us apart to kind of think about how we feel, what we want, that type of thing. Cause it's kind of difficult to be clear headed when they're right in front of you.
Yeah. Oh, I just realized I can't even go back to watch it live. Oh, oh no. Oh, I just saw a connection issue on my thing, but it should be okay. But I was like, damn, I can't even rewatch it live to know what I wanted to say. But it's fine. Um, what I was gonna say too, though, right now is just like, yeah, like when we were talking about names of like our school, it's like, yeah, the pizza place. I can't even name the freaking name of the place. But yeah, that's sick. And then, oh, I remember. Actually, just kidding. I don't know if this is a thing, but so I was cleaning, and you were talking about how like all these things just kind of happen, whatever. Right?
Hmm.
Like how you guys just like it just happened.
Yeah.
And so I was cleaning like a month ago, or no, like 2 weeks ago. I was cleaning around my room, and then I found this notebook that I only wrote one page in because I was trying to start like a when I read and I just annotate in this one separate journal instead of like in the book itself because I never liked writing in the book itself. It feels like violating to me a little. Um, but so in this one page I wrote, it was from this book from Komari, but the quote that I wrote down is having served as a consultant for many years, I've learned that people who haven't yet met someone they really like tend to have accumulated a lot of who are in a relationship but are feeling ambiguous about it tend to be careless with their things. Our relationships with other people are reflected in our relationships with our things, and likewise our relationships with things show up in our relationships with people. Condo 251. And then I was like, damn, this is good. Like this is good advice. And then I looked at when I wrote it and it was July 29, 24. And I was like, damn, I still haven't followed this advice to like clean out all my old shoes. That is goal two this summer to really let go, bro. First goal is get a part-time job or work
Mm.
somewhere. But yeah, second goal is like, yeah, really like it's another time to mark this chapter and like move on and like because I tried to do that in after high school, but there's just more stuff. But now it's like there's a good amount, controllable amount of stuff, and like what do you call that? And like digital clips and whatever. Um, but yeah, so I taped it to my wall next to my desk to keep it as a reminder to myself. But yeah,
Nice.
is there anything else you got?
I have a lot of stuff, but I don't
Hmm.
want to dominate it too much.
Okay. While you were talking about your flights, I was like trying to think too, like what did I do this semester? Because every day feels the same, but I did so much toward this end, and I can't really name everything. But I
Mm.
think one huge thing that I was doing was I think like middle of end of Feb to middle of March, middle endish of March, and those were my observation hours for school. So I
Ooh.
go in, yeah, I go in to do observation hours for school, and then like um just see like how the teacher teaches and stuff. Schedule of like really busy and like back to back stuff. Um yeah, I was waking up at like 6 just so I could get there in time. Like 7:30 they start, that's why. And then I was like, bro, this is crazy. This is what like a job would feel like, but every day. And I was like, I don't really know if I'm still down for this. But it was still cool to like go in and like see, dude, the freaking like the way kids are and like the tech they have now and what they're allowed to do, it was insane. Like they just walk around with headphones like college campus students do. And every kid had a laptop. There was no like classroom set of Chromebooks. And I was just so in shock. I was like, bro, we couldn't even walk around with earplugs in, and now like headphones are fine. I was like, that's ridiculous. I don't know how to feel about that. Um, and then there was this one time when there was this kid. He was like, "Oh, can I use the restroom?" And then my teacher was like, or the teacher I'm observing was like, "Yeah, let me just like sign you off on your thing." And then he was like, "Oh, okay." And they're like, he's looking at his phone and she's looking at her computer. He's like, "Did you get it?" And then he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, okay." I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "What the heck is just happening?" So I asked her about it, and she was like, "Oh, it's like a digital hall pass where like they're cleared to be in the hall or like walking." And I was like, "What the heck, dude?"
Digitally?
Yeah, it's like they have a system in place where like, oh, so like our assembly, like Renaissance assembly, right?
Mm.
That's what they were going to. So it's like if they're just walking around, like they have proof, they can show like, oh, my teacher marked me and it's fine, like I'm out, right? And I was like, what the heck? That is crazy. Walking around, it was like a death sentence. We were there. Like you just couldn't be unless you had like a paper in your hand or whatever. And I was just like, that's wild. So that was just like kind of culture shock because it's the same high school, but it wasn't anymore. Um, that was just insane. Humor still the same. Kids be doing some weird dances, and I'm like, what in the world is happening? This is how it is. But yeah, but observation was pretty cool. Talking to my teacher and like asking her about like life and just like career position and like how she got there, things like that. Asking for advice. It was really dope. But this was also during a huge assignment for me and like a couple classmates in this one class I had. It's called Senior Symposium. It's like your final class to you're supposed to take it in your final semester. And so we have this big assignment that's due in the middle of it. And it was so funny because we were all just like, um, we were all rushing to get it finished, due. The night before it was due, I was up with like two people in the Discord call and we were talking about it. And I was like, bro, there's no way I'm gonna finish this. I had a friend who was at our school, he was at our school library, or school computer lab, and um he was there working at night on it in the computer lab. And I was like, bro, there's no oh, I was like, why do I hear an echo? I'm like, oh, it's Alvin.
I
Um
have an echo?
oh no, no, it was just me. Like I could
Oh.
yeah, that's fine. That's not like crazy. Um what do you call it? Yeah, my friend was there working at night on it on the computer lab, and I was like, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna work on this in the morning. And then I got up at 5 because I had observation hours the next day. And then I checked our Discord, and he was like, he sent a gif of Squidward holding up a piece of paper, like all tired and whatever, because he finished at 2 in the morning in the computer lab at school. And I was like, this guy's a menace. He stayed at school just to finish his portfolio. And I'm like, shoot, well, if he finished it, then if Salem finished it, then I gotta finish it too, because it's due at noon before our class. So I was like, shoot, my observation hours were like 2 hours. I'm like, I can do it in 2 hours. So I'm trying to finish it. Boom. My observation hour is done at 10. I go home. I'm like, okay, this is perfect. I'm gonna eat and then I'm gonna finish it and I'm gonna get to school on time, you know? And then I see my Discord popping up and people are like, oh my gosh, guys, no, no way. And I was like, dude, I don't need to know. I need to open to know what you're talking about because he freaking extended that for sure. There's no other reason they would be freaking out like this. And I was like, dude, there's no way. And I was gonna finish it too. I was just like, it wasn't relief. I was just pissed. I was like, bro, like, dude, it's due in 2 hours. Let the adrenaline rush through me so I can finish it. But no, but it was okay. He told us like, oh yeah, uh, I got some concerning emails and I just wanted to address some things. And I was like, that's good. I'm glad we're all gonna hear about it. But it's like he had the whole assignment open from the beginning of the semester. So technically it's on all of us for not doing it right away.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was crazy like core memory I would say from my spring semester. Um and then like just as of late I've been running around like getting stuff to people, getting money from people, trying to give their orders because like I was trying to do like merchandise for my club and my pres didn't want to like do it himself or like be in charge of it. So I was like, I'll do it then. And he's like, okay. So then I fronted half the money to the business guy who was making it for us, and I made sure everyone was able to pay me back. But I'm just amazed that it even happened, to be honest, because I did not expect it to happen. It was just like an idea that I threw. I'm like, hey, because I really wanted to. I'm like, do you think we can do this? And he was like, yeah, like if you can get a number. And I was like, okay. And that actually like pushed me to get a number so that we can get the order going. But it was pretty dope. I'm so glad I did that. Um, and then yeah, like getting cards to professors and getting people to sign my book. Um, but yeah, I think in terms of like pretty big things, I would say those were significant ones. But yeah,
Nice.
um, trying to think what else.
Actually, I think I
Hmm.
only have three more topics.
Topics or stories?
Topics,
Okay,
subjects.
yeah.
Um, I think one of them you can relate to.
Hmm.
Okay. The but yeah, obviously these past few months, biggest theme is like being in a relationship, and I I've been in a relationship before
Oh.
as a high schooler and as like this someone weird this like not someone something like weird relationship but not really in 2023. So this is actually like a full blown like legitimate one.
Hmm.
And it's like so weird seeing how different I am in both of them. Like one because of like growth in maturity as a person, and even just like even in high school, like, I think about the things that I did or like my mindset about certain things, and I was like, dang, dude, that was like, I really was like a child, and like I was a 15, 16-year-old kid, and it really showed. Because
Hmm.
looking back on it, I was like, man, that was messed up, or that was like really dumb. Um, but now it's a lot more like intentional, and I'm taking better care of my relationship and like her as well as like my significant other. So yeah, like having being able to have a perspective on how I am in relationships is pretty cool and like new to me. Uh,
Mm.
so yeah, definitely doing more because I know more. Uh, but yeah, I'm realizing, well, I forgot how much effort it took. But also, granted, I'm putting in a lot more effort in this time. Um, but yeah, it's crazy because in high school, my mentality was like, oh, like I'm young. It's like whatever. Like, oh, just have fun. But now it's
Mm-hmm.
like same mentality of like, oh, I want to have fun, but also like this isn't just for fun. Like, if I don't see a future with this person, then I'm not gonna be with them. Because now with this new stage, like I know I'm still relatively young, but for
Mm-hmm.
this current relationship, it's either like we're either gonna break up or get married. There's like no in between. Whereas in high school, I didn't really have
Think
that
about it.
mentality. Yeah, because even for me, like personal, like conviction is like, uh, I, I,
Have you?
I don't know, but either way, so I'm Christian, and I have a hard rule of like I'm the person I'm going to marry also has to be Christian. And so in high school, the person that I was dating wasn't Christian, but in my head, it was like, oh, it's like just for fun. Future doesn't really matter. So it's fine to date for this long. So that was the kind of mentality. But now it's like, oh, like my current girlfriend is Christian, so it's like that's a different whole issue. Like having a relationship that's Christ centered and not just like for fun, but very intentional. And
Mm.
the core of it is coming from a different place. So things are getting handled differently and better. Uh, so yeah, common theme is
Christianity.
yeah. Well, also like it's it's a lot of work being in a relationship, but I think the work is very much worth it and can also be. Don't get me wrong. There's effort, but it's effortless when it comes to someone you love. Like I was
Mm.
doing like, or I mean, yeah, I was just doing some stuff that I could consider that I think in hindsight, like before I was in a relationship, I think of the things that I have already done. And I would think like, man, that's a lot of effort. I don't know if it's worth it. But now it's like, now that I'm on the other side, it's like, oh, how could I not put in this much effort because of how much I love this person? It's like I want to give this much effort, so it's not
Mm-hmm.
like oh, it's so much effort. Now it's like, oh, there's so much effort that I want to like put into it.
Mm.
So yeah, being on the other side of things really does change your mentality or your perspective.
You know, I was gonna say, or like, yeah, I'm gonna say right now. I actually forgot she wasn't Christian.
Yeah.
I forgot. That like didn't cross my mind, or like it wasn't something I was always thinking about when I saw you guys together. It was just like, oh, they're together, you know. Um, and then you reminded me of something my cousin sent me. It was like a post about a guy talking about his wife and like how, oh, like two friends, two guy friends talking about each other, and then he's like, oh, what are your plans? And like the other one's like, oh, my wife wants me to make her chili, but like I don't want to go to the store and like buy the chili and then make the chili. And then the other guy goes like, just make her the chili. And then it's something like he lost his wife and like if he wish he would have like done more for her and stuff.
Mm.
So that's why it was like, or something like they're best friends and like they stay best friends and because of that. And he was like he made her. So the guy ended up making his wife the chili because of what his friend told him.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
so I can't remember if that was a real story or just like, but I think it was. But it was just like, yeah, um, it's a simple like everyday stuff. It doesn't have
Mm.
I feel like it doesn't always have to be grand. And unlike Alvin, again, I'm not in a relationship, but I wanted to
There's
say
nothing
something
wrong with that. There's
earlier.
nothing wrong with that.
I know there isn't. And so many people have been kind of telling me like it comes when you don't really want it to happen or don't think it will. And I don't know how to feel about that because I'm always like, it's what?
Well, because okay, like I've also prior to that, I've also experienced that for 5 years, and I
Mm,
get you. It is really annoying, and like
yeah. No,
yeah.
you want to know what's even more annoying, Alvin?
Mm.
You've been single for 5 years, right?
Okay.
I've been single kind of like my whole life.
Mm.
But so and then but no, like this is funny though, cause like my friend Sammy from school, she was like, "Don't worry, Shotty. Like if she doesn't like you, if she doesn't like you, then just that just means there's someone better for you out there." And I was like, "Girl, like, no, how much longer do I gotta wait if people keep telling me this?" I was like,
Mhm.
"That's what someone said before," and then I waited, and then here we are again. But I will say that what you call it? They actually recently encouraged me to do this, like the same girl, to ask her and they're like to just ask her out. And I was like, no, but I'm like big on like it's got to be mutual first. But I think neither of us knew what was happening, so it was just like if one person says something, right?
Mhm.
So but neither of us said anything, and so they're like, just ask her out, like then you find out. And I was like, dang, they're not wrong. Like when you put it simple, it's like you just find out and then you move on. Um, and it's so funny. I don't know if I talked about it last time, but it was like we have three options. It's confess now, recover during winter break, thrive in spring. That option was over, and then it was like, okay, confess at the beginning of semester, recover, thrive at graduation. But now we're at the third option, which is and then recover in the summer and try to thrive later on. Um, I just think that's hilarious because I didn't think it was gonna be an option because like, oh, I don't see her anymore. But then like when I did, I was just like, bro, like I melted. I was like, oh my gosh, all my problems are gone. And that's not a good way to base like how you feel, but it's how I felt. And it was just so like, bro, I don't know, something about this person made me feel very light. Um, and also there's like love blindness, so like I could just be ignoring actual issues that my normal self, or if my friend was telling me something, I'd be like, "Oh, you shouldn't ignore that. Like that looks like a problem. It might be a problem." But yeah, love blindness. But yeah, so gonna see her at commencement, and it's like I don't know what's gonna happen. But also like it's fine, nothing happens. But my friends who told me this to just ask her out, there was a third one who was there, and they're like, Kevin, I'm gonna do it. Like, there's this guy I like, and like I'm gonna ask him out and see what happens. Like, and if I get rejected, then it's fine, and move on. And I was like, damn, I wish I could do that. So then I asked her like how it went, and she's like, oh, yeah, we're gonna go study next week. And I was like, what? So I was like, it literally was not that hard, but it's just the jump that makes it feel hard. It's thinking about if you're gonna land when you jump. Um, but I guess sometimes just have um, cause man, I think leaping and doing things will take you places. Oh, also, so we had this award ceremony for the club e-boards, and we sat with the dean of our department, so the Department of Education or English of um of our class. Uh, I sat with her really, because she was already sitting, but then we were just talking, and I was asking her about her life and like how she got places and like what was it like for her. And she told me like, yeah, I did my bachelor's here, and then I went to the East Coast, and then I got a master, and then I got my PhD here. And for some time I was like teaching as a swimming coach or something. And I was like, what the heck, that's just so random from what she's doing now, and also like what she mastered in and like got her PhD in and stuff, to be a swim coach. I thought was hilarious. But
Mhm.
yeah, so as the conversation went, I asked her like, so in those moments of decisions, like, did you feel like kind of fear? Like, how did you feel about it? And she was just um, like kind of what I took from her answers, like, I think it's good. She's like, you kind of grow that way, you know? And I was like, damn. So, and we've been talking about this for forever. Like, growth happens in discomfort or like uncomfort, staying out of
Mhm.
comfort zone and things of same topics is like it's just always going to be like kind of true no matter what. um But yeah, and I would try to bring this up, but I totally did not get this point across to her. But she was talking about like AI and having different jobs and stuff. And right now I was just talking about how master of all trades versus, or master of one versus jack of all trades, because I was looking at Reddit about it. And the post that I was trying to tell them about was how like um the post didn't entail AI, but like we're living in an era where AI is very prominent now. But the post was saying how like a jack will always be better just because a jack can become a master, but like if a master refuses to adapt to new things, like you could be a master at coding, like old school coding or like all this old tech stuff. But once that stuff advances and you have to become a master in these new things, like being a master in what you already know is kind of pointless or useless. And like being a jack, you would be able to learn the new things as it comes, right? Um, and it's like someone who is versatile and like knows a little and a lot with good foundation is very um valuable. So, but yeah.
Mm.
And then also
Yeah.
before I forget, so I told you about how like I freaking found I remembered I wrote a senior sunrise letter to myself.
Yeah.
Dude, I wrote it today and it hit like a truck, bro. Oh,
Ooh.
or I read it today, my bad. I read it today and it hit like a truck. Just because, not because it was like been a year, it was like 2 school years. And that's like a long time. And I didn't open it at all during all that time. So like knowing it was the fresh first time after so long to open it was crazy. And then I found $1 in there and I was like, I forgot I put $1 in there. Like I had thought I did. I was like, I don't think I did. And then it put $1 in there. And then there was also a sticker that says like drive or like driven or something. And I just read the note to myself, and I was like tearing up a little bit. And I was like, bro, this is crazy. Just like the last walk. And it's like, and I had a plan to write a response this time. So, because like in high school we didn't do that, but this
Mm.
one, um, I wrote like a response to it, and just to keep it and like have it as like the time I wrote to my future self, and then when my future self opened it and responded to my past self, and then my future self is like seeing both moments when it happened, and like
Mm.
even how do I see things in that moment, responding and like. But yeah, so that's crazy. I'm actually so sad. Like I didn't think it was gonna be like this.
So when do you
God's
read that response letter?
I'm gonna put another $1 in it, and whenever I open it again, that's gonna be crazy.
And then add another dollar.
The characters I've done, and like then you can even see progress then, because the sticker I had in there was like my older ones, dude, like the one on your laptop, like. So I don't know, there's no plan date to open that one, like the today one, but whenever it happens it'll happen naturally. But yeah, so that was that. And then God's timing, man, is perfect. I was telling Alan, I was like, dude, I had so many things to do and I didn't think I was gonna do it, but like it literally all happened, and I don't know how, but like I guess God's timing really is like perfect. So even the hardship I was going through, like I guess I can't really complain. Maybe it happened for a reason. Um, I don't know. I can't really say. I just have to trust. But it's crazy. I really think it is crazy that I got Alan's order in to him, and then like the timing of the show, and like and getting it to them before the show. I don't know. All happened. So yeah.
Nice.
You said you had other topics you want to talk about?
Yeah. This is pretty short. I'll save the last one of the one that you can relate. I'll save the one that you can
Oh,
relate to
okay.
last.
I was gonna say, I was like,
Uh,
damn, that first one isn't what I can relate to.
um, So this one is about working. So in this,
Mm.
so with this job, like it's so, I don't know how much I got into like job, like jobs after graduation in the last podcast,
Mm.
but in summary, like it was cool because I'm blessed to be an opportunity to apply to a lot of places, and I even got two and a half job offers. I say half because the half couldn't work out strictly because I had to leave for my trip, so I couldn't interview with them. But it would, yeah, so that's why it's a half. But the second job offer I got, I was able to like negotiate with my thing with the current job that I interned for. One because like I already knew the people, I already knew like the system, the workflow, and they gave me a higher salary, so that was pretty cool. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, I've been working there for as a full fledged engineer 3-ish months now. But I've been with the company since like a year as an starting out as an intern. But recently I got before I graduated, I applied to a bunch of places, and the city of LA actually like finally got back to me and stuff. So
Mm.
there's potential to move over there. So at the time of like choosing jobs and like, negotiating salaries when I was first leaving, I was like, oh shoot, like I just wanted to get this over with. Like I just want to choose my job and like just stick it out. But now there's this
Mm.
opportunity where it's like, oh shoot, I have my job, but there's also like a chance for me to leave if I want to. And it's kind of that
Mm.
like that whole thing we talk about. Like if I wanted to, I could just
Australia.
move to Australia. So like with
Yeah.
this, it's like if I wanted to, I could just get a new job and like
Can I
you're
can I just say real quick? That thing
yeah,
has been a joke for 4 years now. Cause I
dude.
remember the night you said that. I was asking you about school, I think, or we were just talking about stuff, and you're like, "Bro, isn't it crazy? Like, you could just be like, I'm gonna move to Australia."
And me learning the concept of free will.
Yeah.
But yeah, in that, yeah, so um yeah, I get to choose what job I get to have, and it's such a big decision because it's an like you have to take into account like your career, not just like where you currently are, but even where you currently are, like your job takes up 40 hours of your week, so that's such a
Hmm.
big impact. And for me, like this current job is completely remote, so I don't have to worry about being in traffic. Ironically though, my girlfriend lives in Fontana, which is I just added her location, but but
Oh
that is.
wait, wait. Oh. Beep.
I mean, she doesn't live in Fontana, which is 27 miles from where I am, and depending on
Okay, you
traffic.
don't want to. Hey, let's stop
So I
talking. I'm just
currently
kidding.
live at. Now that radius is insane. That
No,
one
I know.
viewer that is
It's-
listening to us. But yeah, 27 miles of like wherever is that's from, but it can range from like a drive that's like 30
Oh,
minutes at night
time.
to like an
Yeah.
hour and 15 minutes in
Hmm.
traffic. So yeah, we joke that it's like long distance, but minimum we'd see each other once a week because we go to the same church. So that
Hmm.
makes things. I thought it would make things hard because I swore I would never want to date in my church because of like past relationships that have occurred and like ended pretty bad. So I was like, oh, I don't want
Hmm.
to be a part of that. Yet here I am, God's timing and plan was like, nope.
It's crazy.
So
Yeah.
there's that going
That's
on. That's pretty
wow.
cool. Um, but where was I going with this? Oh yeah, you could choose what you want to do. So with this job, like I'm able. So she has a long commute to her school, and I work from home. So it worked out that like while I'm working, she could just call me while she drives, and that way, even though
Oh
we're so far
wow.
apart, we get to like talk for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's pretty dope.
Oh.
Um, yeah, this job too. Like the people are great. I love what I do. I'm learning a lot, and it's just like can't I can't really ask for more at this current point. I'll see how things progress as I further my career, but as of now, like I feel really blessed to have the job that I have, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Like how flexible it is too. Like working from home, I'm able to do chores. I can even like when I was planning like first date stuff with my girlfriend, or like even me asking her to be my girlfriend, I was doing some prep stuff during operating hours, so I wasn't working. I was like out, like at Michael's buying paint or something. But it's
Mm,
cool because even though as long as I get it done before the end of the day, it's chill. Like today, I worked an hour and a half past my regular operating hours to finish what I wanted to finish, and like nobody bats an eye because as long as you get your work done, it's so chill.
mm,
So yeah, very thankful and blessed for this job.
mm-hmm. Nice. And oh, is your does that go into the third one? The third one's kind of different.
It can. I can go into it right now if you don't have a response.
Okay, hold up. I just gonna look because you're talking about gratitude. I
Oh
guess I
yeah.
should take a moment to also be grateful for, even though like, oh shit. Let me read you what my cousin sent me on Instagram, bro. This so everything today like hit me like a truck, cause I
Mm.
freaking like like last whatever. So I was like last meeting with class, and then I say bye to my friend, and then I do my last walk. I was kind of teary eyed, and in my head was "City of Stars" by Logic. It's like, and it's crazy because like that song I listened to at the beginning of this school year, the whole school year, and I was just like, this is it, and I know it's gonna happen, and the lyrics are just so good. The first like the album came out, I heard the song, it's a good song, and I was like, oh, this is lit. And then I'm driving to school one day, September something, 24 or ish. I'm driving to school and I just updated my iPod with new songs, and so Bob's album of Ultra 85 is on there, and then I'm like, I don't know the songs too well yet. It's like the second of City of Stars from Incredible True Story. And I'm driving up the hill before our school, right? And I'm listening to the lyrics, and I have a video of myself tearing up because it was hitting me so much what the lyrics are, and him going like, I don't wanna give up 'cause it's getting close. And then like, ah, so I teared up hearing that song the whole school year, and walking on my last walk, hearing it in my head, play in my head. I'm like, damn, like I've been walking here for 2 years, and like it was just an everyday thing, and now it's not gonna be an everyday thing. My friend sent me a
Mm.
meme. She sent me a meme that said like, okay, so I have my cousin post to show you, and then she sent me a meme that says, "Do we bring our backpacks tomorrow?" And I was like, bro, stop. That's such a sad, childish, like innocent, like when you're a kid, like, do we bring our backpacks tomorrow? And now it's like, fudge. It's not even a question I need to ask anymore. And the same girl who sent me this, we were walking out of the building that we had a class together, and so I was joking with her. I'm like, "Oh, so I'll see you in 4 o'clock class later." But I was like,
Uh,
"Dude," and I was like, "Oh shoot, like that's actually a joke now. Like I can't even say it's a joke, and like we have to go to class." I'm like, "Oh shoot, like that's just gonna be a joke forever now." And I was like, "No, dude, that's so sad." Last walk, I went home and I read my senior sunset letter to myself. And then, or right before I read the letter, or senior sunrise letter, I read this post my cousin sent me. Cause it's like those birth month is your message to yourself. And for hers, she was like, okay, now I feel really attacked. And it's like, Lamau. But mine says, you made it. Maybe not perfectly, maybe not much. Life isn't about fixing everything before the clock resets. It's about recognizing who you became while no one was watching. You've been growing in ways you didn't talk to anyone about, quiet ways and hard ways. Quiet ways, hard ways. Stop running and start absorbing not just what happened, but how you handled it. You held on, you adapted, you kept showing up. Can you imagine a stronger form of self love? And I teared up a little bit to this too, because I was like, I never felt like I was giving my own self credit and self love, like even carrying weight in this one class I had. Um, it's like a team group class, and like, yeah, I kept telling people in school, like in classmates, like I don't feel like I really deserve this degree, or it doesn't feel like as big as it is. Um, and so like when it was like you made it, maybe not perfectly, like not how you imagined. Like, yeah, I didn't imagine that I won't feel the weight of it. And Tyler was telling me too, like when we we're playing Rocket League, he was like, yeah, like when you were lost and like when you didn't know what to do and like it all like worked out somehow. And I was like, yeah, it really did work out somehow. And I don't understand how it worked out, but like it did. And another thing I was saying how like in the last like when we finished high school, I was like, I don't know where I'm gonna be in 5 years. And here I
Mm.
am again. I was like, fuck, this is where I was in 5 years, and it's still cool, 5, 6 years. But I was like, again now I'm like, I don't know where I'm gonna be in 5 years. Like it's crazy. So like I may not have done or been exactly where I wanted to be from 5 years ago, but I'm definitely like a different person in terms of just like navigating or knowing what is important and necessary. So I guess there's that, but it's just like, man. So, so yeah, that was my form of gratitude-ish. Um, yeah.
Nice.
Okay, what is something I can finally actually relate to?
Ooh, this one,
What?
finances and budgeting.
You think so? I don't know if I can relate to
I
this
think
yet.
so, cause like
Actually, no. Mm,
we've talked about like spending and stuff and being
yeah.
like frugal. I think I want to
No,
say you're more hesitant than I am when it buying stuff, cause like you've held off on like buying shoes or something.
oh, actually, yeah. I was gonna say like lately my shoe habit has gone down. It just got replaced with things that were cheaper. So it's not the best, but I think it's still better because the shoe thing was such an instant gratification. And now at least I'm like thinking about buying stuff that I'm using or like knowing that I'm gonna use it. So it's like shoes take forever to kind of degrade and kind of late stuff. So it's like $5, $7, $2, $3, whatever's. And it's like that's not as expensive as a shoe. I'm saving like
Mhm.
$77 or something. So it's like it's the same feeling and the bonus is that I'm doing something with it and like I can actually use it for versatility and not just like I'm going out and I'm gonna wear my shoes. Like, I can't be inside and be like, yeah, these $70 shoes are great. You know, it's like so I feel like in the sense of like knowing purpose and intention now, it's better. And I agree with you though now, because like before you're like, at the end of the day, it's just numbers. Because when I fronted all that money the first half for the club merch, I was
Mhm.
like, damn, this is 300, and I was like, that's kind of a lot. And I'm like, I hope people pay me back. So then I was like, whatever. And then it's like, it's crazy. Like it really is just a number. Like, because I don't see it obviously. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I wanted to pay the guy cash, but I was like, I think the bank would probably question me if I just randomly wanted to withdraw like $600. Uh, so I was like, no, I'll just sell him. And luckily they it let me sell. But yeah, so I think I'm better now. Still not the best, but it's for sure better. Yeah. Sorry. Take away from but you even got to the point yet, but yeah.
That's basically it. Just like so, I live a pretty cheap lifestyle where like I don't really care to buy clothes all the time or like have the nicest shoes or whatever. Um,
Mm,
the most expensive thing about me is food, just like buying stuff, like going out, which isn't even that much, but like a little does. A lot of little things do stack up. Or
mm-hmm.
even like going to concerts every once in a while. Like even that like would be the big purchase items of like, oh, tickets cost like $80 or whatever.
Merch there.
Yeah. So before, like, with the amount of money I was making, like, I never really had to intentionally save because I just so happened to never spend more than I made. So I kept profiting every week. So I never had to really think about it because I knew like my lifestyle was fine and I was like saving money, even though I wasn't really saving up for anything. I just had peace of mind that like, oh, I'm never losing money. But
Mm-hmm.
then when I graduated, the amount of money I made, like almost almost doubled around ish, but like significantly jumped. So then after I graduated, like I'm fortunate enough to like my parents didn't need me to like pay rent while I was in school, but now that I'm graduated with a full time job, now I do pay rent. And it's not even that much. Like even if I moved out on my own, it's significantly less than if I had to pay rent for my own place.
Mm.
But even I would have thought that I would have been saving an insane amount of money, but at the same time, like not not to say that like or okay, what I'm trying to say is being in a relationship is a lot more expensive. One because like one the distance like driving more, so like gas and eventually like car maintenance will like catch up to me. But for the most part, it's just like gas. Um, and the second part is like paying for stuff. Like
Mm.
like I said, like a lot of a little goes a long way, or like that adds up. So then for like eating out, even on my own, if I were to eat out on my own a lot, it's like, oh shoot, it's gonna add up. But now you add a second person, and it's doubled.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh shoot, wait.
Mm.
And it's like fine. Like still, I'm not losing money, so it's like fine. But I'm also now more intentional about like, okay, wait, maybe I should be more intentional about saving. Because prior, like, if I broke even, it's like, oh shoot, I'm not saving for my future. Um, Not to say that I'm planning to move out like anytime
Mm.
soon, but some good advice that like one of like my older people or like titos in my life gave me was like it's it's easier to like financially plan and start now and have to worry about that aspect later. Okay, I'll just give you the whole context. The context he was telling
Okay.
me was like so like it may or may not be like my current girlfriend. I don't know. Hopefully it is. If it's not, then it's not. But in general, like there's gonna be a time where I have to decide if I'm ready to get married, and like regardless of if I'm there or not right now, I should start saving up money because like weddings and that phase of your life is going to cost money. So it's easier to start now, as opposed to like making that decision later down the line and then starting to save money. So he's like, "Oh, just
Mm.
start now, and then whenever you're ready, like you'll have already prepped this much, so it's just gonna make that decision a lot easier." So that's my current mindset of like, "Oh shoot, let me try to let me set try to set up future Alvin." So
Mm.
that's why I've been more intentional about like saving and like budgeting because my old tactics don't work for that. Where it's
My
just
old
like
tactics.
yeah, just like, oh, just live my life
So
that's like
funny.
cheap and I'll like profit by default. But now it's like, oh shoot, let me try to maximize my profit
Mm.
each paycheck. Um so actually before when I was in school, I knew like okay, the first couple of months after I graduate, I'm gonna be responsible with my money. So yeah, that first couple of months, like I was just spending money. I was like, let me like if I went out with my friends, I'd be like, oh, let me cover it or whatever, just to like show
Mm.
gratitude of like all these people have like been by me this whole journey. So like let me like
Yeah.
share the fruits of my labor. Um, so yeah. So then I chilled out. So now I'm like more responsible. And I'm also being more mindful of like, oh shoot, maybe I was going out a lot and being too free with my spending. Like if I am craving something expensive, it's like, oh shoot, there's food at home though, so maybe I should just like
Dude.
eat what my
Yeah.
parents made. So that's one of the bigger things that I could cut back on. Because, like I said, like food is the biggest thing I spend.
Hmm. I always try to do food at home. Like sometimes even my dad be like, "Oh, so like you want a burger?" I'm like, "No, we have freaking the leftovers from last night." And he'd be like, "Oh yeah." But then other times, like I know he's trying to get me to get a burger too. He'd be like, "Do you want a burger?" And I'm like, "No, we have ulam." And then he'd be like, "Are you sure? Like you don't want?" I'm like, "Come on, man, you can't do this to me." Because later I don't want to hear. So why didn't you eat the ulam? I'd be like, "Bro, like." You tempted me with a burger. Um, I want to say too earlier, double talents, because you're talking about like
Oh yeah,
yeah, so like just doubling what you already have or whatever. And then in terms of like when you said paying back and like what people have done for you and like paying for them, for
Mm,
me, like if they ask for tips or like whenever someone is like asking me for money or like, you know, beggars or whatever, homeless people or just like donations, I try like it's just something, right? And then I don't like doing it in front of my parents just 'cause like sometimes my dad be like, or like if they have a tip jar, right? He'd be like, parang may trabaho ka, meaning like, yeah, it's like you
mm,
have a job. And it's like, I
mm,
don't, but it's like, it's not like $1, you know? It might as
yeah.
well go to someone who is working hard right now, right? It's like, I don't want it to go to my, my selfish needs that probably won't even, like my overconsumption of whatever, right? And I think too, when I got more serious, not serious, but like I was able to manage my old past statements from bank in my checkbook. Um, I got more serious about like money in terms of like I started returning things and like I never usually return stuff. And I think this is also goes over something for me that was like people pleasing or just like, oh no, it's fine. But in terms of like consumption and materialism and like consumerism, because I would buy something and like, oh, I'll keep it. It was like $2, $3. Now I'm like, I'm not gonna use it again. I can return it. I'm gonna ask them if I can return it and
Mm,
get the return, get that back. Cause like, let's say like a marker that I know I would use is $4, and there's like um a sketchbook, $5, $6. And I'm like, oh, I think I need a new sketchbook. And then like I already have one at home. It's like I didn't really need a sketchbook. I could have bought that new, could have bought a different color marker to use to experiment more with, right? So like even the small stuff, I started to like, yeah, I can return this. Or if I bought something and I had joy for a moment, and I'm like, I bought it out of nostalgia though, and it gave me that small instant gratification. It was like, I think I should return it. So yeah, that's something for me that has been different too. And like in terms of saving, I have this red cup in my room, red solo cup that have just sometimes some savings in it, and I never touch it. And it's different from savings in the bank because I fronted the club merch money with my savings. And my plan is though later to just transfer because the Zelle went to my checking, just to transfer the same amount I fronted to my savings again so that it's like it never moved. And it looks complicated, but it's just to keep myself like I didn't touch my savings, you know? Um, and then the same with stickers, like people have, oh, I'm gonna call it donations for now. People have donated dollar, $2 for stickers. And then Alan paid me. Um, so my plan is to like have it in like a container too of like this is the money you made from your art, and it's like as a way to separate it because you can just combine your money, but it's like to know like, oh dang, like this is the art money and this is like family help me money, and then this is like bank saving money, this is my checking money, right? um I feel like separating it is important. It's
mm.
in my eyes though, but yeah. I also have hella coins in 4 Starbucks cups, and like the quarter one is halfway, the penny one is like 3/4, the dime one is like 1/4, and then the nickel.
Oh.
The nickel is 1/4. And like again, because like I just get change from when I pay with cash. I don't know, the 25 quarter ones look like it looks like it could be worth at least I would say like it looks like 20, because 4 quarters is $1.
Mm,
It's quite a lot of quarters. So, but yeah, and like that's just another way I'm saving. Like it's not like I'm scrambling to get those coins, but it's like that's there, and then like I can and then cash that like in the bank in the rolls, and then like or you know if I feel like oh what can I splurge on that I save with quarters and coins, you know. So yeah, aspects of saving that I've been doing.
dang. It's I don't know if I'm too digital or if you're too tangible, but
Whatever,
I,
dude.
but like I haven't used cash in so long. Like it's always
Dude,
like Apple Pay,
no.
tap.
I'm telling
Like I don't
you.
know if everyone else is using cash and I'm not, or if everyone is like me and
Mhm.
like you're the one that's more tangible than everyone else.
No, and that's fine too, because we that's just our like society. But I'm telling you, man, like person. But I'm telling you, like having tangible things is so different. Like I hate scrolling. Like even the flip vlog thing that I have, right?
Mhm.
Um, on your phone, you can just scroll through all your photos so fast, and the flip forces you to only have one video on the screen at a time. So out of the 200, I have to like to like through all of them if I want to find something.
Mhm.
But that oh, each video is special. Each video is like it is, right? It exists. And I have to scroll through my past physically, and each press is like an older video, you know? So I'm just saying, like, even in that sense, that's why I got the iPod too. And like in terms of tangibility, I grew up on cash. So it's like, I don't know, I just like cash better. Because the reason I don't like digital is because my dad used a checkbook and he said I needed to use a checkbook. And if I use my card, that meant I would have to file my statements into the checkbook more, which is why I don't like
Oh.
which is why I don't like using credit card a lot or like often or like my debit or whatever cuz like I use it for sometimes cash back or whatever, but it's like I try not to because I just don't like listing and like seeing my bank
The
despite being
checkbook?
yeah, despite being a person that likes writing. Do you know what a checkbook is?
Like I obviously do, but I don't think I've ever used one.
Yeah, and you don't need to, but it's like it's a cool thing to have to record your and you can see, dude, yeah, there's a point where I looked at my
But it's digitally
checking.
recorded.
Do you ever look at it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I do just to see like
Fair
if I
point,
get
fair point.
accidentally charged something.
Oh, oh, yeah, yeah. But for me, it's like I can look at it and be like, damn, I had that much money at one point, and why is it not there anymore? Um,
Wait,
but
I mean that
it's
that's digitally too.
I know, but it's just a preference, I guess.
Ah.
Um,
So you
like
manually
I
write
hate.
down every time you like all of your check or
Oh no, no,
bank
no.
activity?
So it's not per purchase. It's like so your credit card, and it's monthly billing cycle, right?
Hmm.
So like let's say I bought a t-shirt $10 this month, and then I bought video game $60. And then when you get your statement from the bank, um your bank statement would be 70 total for the month.
Hmm.
So you just write the bank statement into the line, and then you pay it, and then or your credit card statement, I'm sorry. Credit card statement comes with a total of whatever you purchase. That's what you write. And then when your bank statement comes in showing that you did pay, then you just check it in the checkbook. It's like, okay, it's like, yeah. So it's not each purchase for a credit
Oh,
card.
I
It's
see.
just the total for the month cycle of the card.
Hmm.
So, but so that's why I don't like is because like for each purchase I make sure and like manually, even though it's there, it's like I manually check um if it adds up, if I have the receipts and they're the same receipts, the same number on the sheet receipts to the credit card statement. That's why I hate it because the process is so tedious, and I hate my OCD, self-diagnosed OCD of checking numbers makes me stay longer than I need to. So that's why
True.
I hate it.
But you
Um
don't have to do it.
I don't, but it's one of those things where I feel like I have to. I feel obligated to. The same way in video games. And again, I don't know if this is my self-diagnosed OCD, where in video games, like story games, you can just progress one way, right? Like you
Mm.
could just go main story. Um, if if like Pokemon, where there's like open world or whatever, like let's say you're one portion of before the bad guys show up. I talked to every NPC, and then if I got any side quests, and then I do the next portion. go back and talk to every NPC if they got new side quests or whatever. Cause like it's like, what if that isn't available when you keep progressing? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
At least in my mind, and in like dialogue anyway. Dialogue is like different. Will be different every time there's a new main event on the road that you have to do. So it's like kind of just interesting to see what the dialogue of the NPCs are, or just like um the story of it and how it changes. That's how I played this one game one time. But like that's why platformers are easy because you just kind of skip and you're trying to get to the end, or racing games. But when I'm in a story game, like that's how it is for me. So in a sense, I just feel obligated to keep record of what I started, and like I started it. So that's fine. I don't mind. It's cool though, cause like my dad flexes on me like all the old checkbooks he has, and I'm like, that's pretty cool though. Like you have a record of your whole. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's cool though. I think it's cool. Um, but yeah. So yeah.
Cool.
All right, we're coming up on 140 now.
Dang.
Minus 20, which was just us finding music. So in technicality, that's still a good amount, 120. Um, I'm gonna look at our structure real quick. Common themes, favorite parts. I think favorite parts we kind of covered. Music we did. So, did you have any common themes?
Oh yeah, you actually just said it.
Uh,
Um, so I think I have two. So one is God's timing is perfect, which you said, because like
mhm.
I mean this podcast I've been bringing it up constantly, but with my
Well, are you
girlfriend,
sure?
like
Or
like
oh, really?
we've been we've been around each other like a good portion of both of our lives, but we didn't fully become friends until like 2 years ago. So now
Mm,
it's just now that like um we're in a relationship, and within those 2 years, like she had her love interest and I had mine, and then um now we just so happen to line up where now we're each other's current love interest and like significant other.
mm,
God's timing in that when it happened and how it happened. Um, and then another common theme is so with the whole like there's this thing where it's like things either happen or okay, I mean they both happen. Like you have your own responsibility and your own effort, but you also have like God's provision and God's like sovereignty and control over everything. So common
mm,
theme for me is like the saying like, oh, you got to meet God halfway, because you can't just be like, oh, like God's gonna take care of me and just sit there and hope like everything will be taken care for you. But no, you
mm,
still have to go out there like work, like do. But at the same time, it's not like everything falls on you because like God is still in control and things happen
mm,
according to God's plan and not your own plan.
mm,
So a common thing is like, oh, you got to meet God halfway. But for me, I'm trying to like that's the thing that I struggle with is like where is that halfway point? Like
mm,
for me, I will so often than not do too much than not enough. Where it's like I rely too much on my own
yeah.
self to do whatever I need to do or like get to where I want to be. So I constantly have to remind myself that like, oh, God's in control. It's according to God's plan and not my own.
Mm,
Um, so it's like my mentality that I struggle with is like I don't. How am I ever gonna get to that halfway point if I don't give it my all? Um,
mm,
yeah. So I think I'm more so trying to focus on God will God will only allow me to do or God will only let me do what He allows me to do. So if I can't
mm,
do something, that's because God didn't allow me to do it. So I'm still giving it my
mm,
best in that regard, but understanding that like I do have limitations because I'm this finite human being.
mm.
Yeah.
That actually reminds me of one of our friends. Not gonna say okay, but he auditioned for a team long time ago and then he didn't get in,
Hmm.
and he was saying like I think it just like means like it's not for me, or like God doesn't want me to do it, whatever. And he's like our whole high school. So
Mm-hmm.
like in some way it kind of worked out, and like, or in some way it was still like part of the journey, like something in the same vein, the same artery of like what it is. It's just not where he wanted to go in the time. So, um, yeah. I also wanted to say, oh, what are you saying? God's timing and provision. Oh, I think I'm the same like you, where it's like just all or nothing. It's like one day I do everything, or it's one day I don't do anything at all. It's like so bad balancing. But I feel like for me, that's the only way I can function, is where if I am pushing my limit, but then like I push way too hard, and then I just like spiral into like whatever. Um, but I would like to say, like, I would think I've been able to carry some weight this semester in terms of like teamwork and just like overall trying to help people. And like my question is like, for me, when is the line? Where is the line of helping, but also like, am I just people pleasing? Am I, or because I feel the need to, and like there's an obligation to, because I don't know, right? Um, that's the line I'm trying to figure out. Um, but yeah, I think for me, common themes are just perseverance, and that I'm the same, I'm different but the same, but what was dang it. There's a line I said to this rapper in his question, because he said something like, "What do you think of this song?" or whatever. And I said something to him, and he said, "That's a bar," and I can't think of what it is, but it's something about like old this but new this, like same shoe, same person, new shoe, like something like that. I just can't remember exactly what I said, but I think that's how I. But the old me is always there, the same me of like really caring about people and like having impact somehow. That's still there, and I just have to like fully accept that that is me. I can't then like not hide it, because when I wasn't doing that and when I wasn't able to, it was like I was struggling. But also when I am like being myself and like out there, is like, should I be intentional about it, or like know my own line of who to show that to, right? But also I'm kind of glad, because there are some people who have spoke out to me, and I think it was because I was just like able to give off like, we're cool to talk. Um, Whereas like if I didn't, maybe they wouldn't have wanted to talk to me. So I think that's my common themes, like perseverance and I'm trying to deal. But yeah, so
Mm, nice.
was there another one you were gonna say, or
No, I think that's my main ones.
for sure?
Huh.
All right, we're at the last couple sections
Yeah.
of what we hope and message. Is this the same? Did we just intertwine it?
I
This
think
time?
I think mine's gonna be
Me or
super
you?
short.
Oh,
Cause that one time we were like, oh, this is the last one. Like I made it like so
okay.
like future sighted that it's like, oh, I kind of said it already.
You know what's is crazy is if you watch it now and see, because I feel like we're at a point where whatever you said can be applied to like now, like if it did happen or not. I feel like I don't know how far future you're talking,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Um. Yeah, I could start if you need a moment
Okay.
to think. Super short. Feature Alvin. I hope this new season of life, um, you get more of a grip on because these past few months are so insane. So much life change from what you've grown up and you've been like used to. Because before this was just like school, but now it's just like life. It actually is like you have your career, you have your relationship, um, and you are able to do whatever you kind of want to. Like you can not even in the context of like moving to Australia, but like you could move out of your parents' house if you wanted to. Um, you could switch jobs. You could decide to propose to your girlfriend or whatever, like whenever. Um, so that all these things are in your control and there's so much freedom in it as opposed to fall a junior next year I'm gonna be a senior next year I'm going to college or next year I'm going to transfer and I got to take these classes. It's like so laid out in front of you, but now it's like nothing's laid out. Like there's these paths that your peers have taken, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the path that you should take. Maybe you like that path and you can want to copy it, like a segment from theirs, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be like yours or work out the way that it did for them. So it's kind of like all up to you. But tying back into what I just said, even though it is just up to me and like there's things that I'm responsible for and have to work for, it's also in God's timing and provision and sovereignty. Uh, and it isn't outside of that limit. So I think my hope for Alvin is that not that he has to have it all figured out, but he's more confident with this new aspect of freedom, and also more faithful in uh, God in his decisions as opposed to his own head when it comes to those things. Um, but yeah, who knows what these next 5 years are going to look like? I'm sure they're going to be super drastic because it's kind of like the setup to your dang Loki. Like I'm technically in my mid 20s. I'm 24. Oh my goodness, I'm
Mm.
in my mid 20s. But yeah, this is like the setup into the rest of my life. The setup into my late 20s into my 30s. So we'll see what life looks like by then. Um, but I hope I am still like whether or not like my job pans out the way that I want it to, like I get the promotion I want or like whatever, I could lose my job or even like with my relationship currently if she ends up being the person I marry, like great. If not, like that sucks. But in those things, like God is still good. So I think at the bottom line of it all, like whether or not all these things that are on my plate, whether or not they progress for the better or for the worse, that I am still like faithful to Christ in how he has me and how he like provides and loves me that the way that he does, and that's the thing that isn't gonna change. Amidst all of these new changes right now and the uncertainty of the future, what won't change and what is certain is God's love and care for me. And that could look like however it's how God intends for it to look like. I just don't know what it looks like right now. And I have my own vision of what I want it to look like, but it doesn't mean that's what's best for me or that's what God has planned for me. So yeah, in summary, I hope in the future I love God just as much, if not more, in whatever happens.
Round of wait, I think we can do. Hold on. Is there a sound? Hold on, hold
You have an
on.
audio board? Nice.
Hold on.
I
I
think that's very
know
appropriate.
I just want to be
it's
appreciated.
not. I didn't know some of these are on here. Hold on. I'm sorry. This is just funny. Okay. Anyway, there's no clap one that I have that I can play for you. So clap, clap, clap.
No, I like the oh. Yeah.
I don't even know whose server this is, bro. That's hilarious. Anyway, before I say mine, I wanted to say, um, I was talking to a professor and she was telling me, she was asking me like, "Do you have a plan?" And I was like, "Oh, nope." And even today at the club at the class thing, professor asked me about summer plan. I'm like, dude, I just really don't like. I don't know what's gonna happen. There's an idea. There's no like real plan. And then um Denzel Washington said, "Goals or dreams without goals are just dreams, or like, and they're just a distraction." I was like, "Fudge, so good," because it's true. But what my professor was saying to me in office hours, she was like asking me these questions about what I have plans. Do I want a girlfriend? Do I want this? Do I want a job? Blah blah blah. And then I was like, I don't know, doctor. Or I was gonna say, or Dr. T. Okay, I was like, I don't know Dr. T, because like this is happening, this is happening. And she's like, okay, well, Kevin, like, are you religious? I was like, yeah. And she's like, okay, I'll put it to you this way. She said something how like she analogized one of the readings, I think, where she was like, imagine a father and daughter. Like the daughter is 7 and the father has a plan of like, oh, it's gonna be like this, and like, but the daughter just wants a unicorn, and then the father is like, no, no, but like we can have all these things, just wait and just wait, but the daughter just wants a unicorn for her birthday, right? And it's like, so she was saying like, God has his plan for us, and like we only know what we know, and we can't see like what is really being planned. So it's like, yeah, just like being patient and like letting him do it and like, yeah. Um, but yeah, okay, that was just something I wanted to say because you're talking about God's plan. Um, bro, all right. Dear future Kevin. Oh man, what in the world? This is happening. What do we hope in the future? Bro, you gotta have a hope, man. What is the message to your future self? Bro, gotta have a hope, man. I know the past future self messages are kind of sad. We're not gonna go that route this time. We're going off with the shebang, bruh. Not gonna be as sad, right? Uh, I think definitely having steps and goals, small goals, will lead to bigger accomplishments, and taking small steps to do things and getting over the fear of one thing will build that resilience to be a better version of yourself. And like Alvin was saying, bro, in 5 years, and I didn't realize this, in 5 years is 2030. What the heck?
That's crazy.
2030. That is crazy though, right? Um, so yeah, like, dude, 5 year plan is kind of insane. And they say mess up in your 20s and by your 30s you gotta have it figured out. I don't think you should stress too much about like thinking you really to have it figured out, but definitely just have a plan or do something. Wendy told you that you gotta do something at the end of the day. So if you're not gonna do whatever this bachelor has entailed, just do something. Because you never know where that will take you. So yeah, I would say definitely do something, have an idea, put your heart into it, and have drive. Um, what's the other thing, bruh? Oh, all the talks about going to therapy. Actually, go to therapy and learn about people pleasing and better taking care of oneself and like mental clarity, and also yeah, like having faith in God and just trusting um that He will provide. If you have a relationship or not, I don't know, man. Maybe just get rid of all those papers that are possibly holding you back. Um, and let's remember what Chelsea said is just like be confident and like have more confidence, because she was like, you have confidence, but sometimes like your decision making is not as strong. So we got to work on that for sure, because everything in life is a decision. And if you're like teeter tottering on decisions, that's what makes it difficult. So better decision making, hone in on that, stick to your gut and whatever your gut says. I think that's it. You better have a website done and better have at least one sale in a year. That is the goal now. So yeah, I think that's about it. Um, yeah, crazy, crazy.
Nice.
Be good, bro, and love yourself in peace. Okay, now that's it. All right, here we go.
What?
Oh shoot, it's the game, bro.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Oh shoot.
Hmm.
Um, okay. Do you have no?
Yes, I got one.
I haven't got one. Um, okay, you count.
Okay, three, two, one.
Bed.
Keyboard. Huh.
Keyboard and bed.
Ooh.
Uh, okay. Okay. Easy.
Keyboard and bed.
Dude, if you're
Okay,
okay.
it's
Okay.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Three, two, one. Mouse pad.
Room. Oh my
Ah, shoot.
gosh, dude.
Okay, mouse
Mouse
pad and room.
Mousepad in room. What?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Three, two, one.
setup.
Computer. Okay.
Goodness.
Okay.
Computer and setup. Okay. Boom, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Okay. Three, two, one. PC.
Gaming.
Oh,
Oh my
PC
dude.
gaming.
Okay, there we go. It's
PC
right there.
gaming.
Yo, it's right
It's
there.
right there.
Come on, Albert.
We
Come on.
we have to
Yo,
get this one.
yo,
Ready?
yeah.
Okay, three, two, one.
Rocket
Valorant.
League. Oh my
Okay, okay, okay.
dude,
This
now
one we
there's
have to
no
get.
way. There's just
No, this one we get. This one you got it.
no, I don't
Ready?
have a word, bro. Wait.
Easy, easy. There's only like a third. There's like one other game that we play. Valorant,
No,
Rocket
there
League. What's the
isn't.
middle?
What's the third one? Wait. Dude, those are the only two. What? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, ready?
Ready? Three, two, one. Overwatch.
Overwatch. There we go. I was like, what game are you
Easy.
talking about? You know why? Because we actually haven't played together on that game yet, I think. We only play Rocket League together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dang. Okay. And that is it, I guess. Wow. That concludes
Sick.
this is probably the last. Maybe next time will be I don't know, wavelengths. I don't know.
Wavelengths.
I like that name. If we ever do a new one or change
Yeah.
this one, we'll see. YouTube channel. That is the next goal too. That's first video is now what, and it's just like me, like
Now what?
you might, yeah, it's gonna be like you might know me somewhere, blah blah blah. It's like I just graduated. No, 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 no. No, I'm legit. Like that has to be a video. Like that is the start to I don't know what happens. And it's so ironic that I always teeter between I want to be famous. And then like when I get a couple likes from strangers on Instagram, like I don't like this feeling at all. It's like double it's a sword, bruh. But yeah, that is the end of Vincast for now.
Sick.
So any last thing?
Shout out to our one viewer.
Oh, I was gonna say, imagine you show your girlfriend this someday in the future. Like, yeah, we were talking about you. Like, and we gave away where you live.
That she actually knows that I told her that like this is what I was
Oh
gonna
yeah,
do
yeah.
tonight. Cause usually we call like at night, but I was like, oh no, I can't, cause I'm gonna podcast. He's like,
That
you have
is
a podcast?
that is so funny. Yo, oh, we should do a Vincast on three. I can't believe we didn't think of this before. I was like, I think good way to officially end it.
Like a
Um,
chant?
Vincast on three. One, two, three. Vincast
Mm.
or
Yeah,
Vincast or
let's
Div-
do it.
yeah, just Vincast.
Yeah.
All right, Vincast on three. One, two, three. Vincast.
Vacast. That's
All right,
reps.
peace. That's a wrap.